Okay, one thing that is fairly crucial for the grip on the barbell in order to keep the arms relaxed and long and allow us to move really smoothly through this pattern is position of the hand and something called hook grip. And so I'm going to go through both those things right now. So the first thing we want to look at is our grip width for the clean. So this is going to vary from person to person every time. No one's grip is going to be identical to someone else's because all of our anatomical positions are a bit different, with arm length, shoulder width, hip width, leg width, all that kind of stuff comes into play. So we will play around a little bit with your grip position until we find an optimal position for you. So personally, I find that taking the bar about halfway between the edge of the knurling and the first marker, using my thumb length as an indicator for consistency, is the best place for me to set my hands. This will allow my hands to receive the bar outside of my shoulder. It will allow my mobility to play at its best, where I can get my elbows up, keep my chest and head up, and I feel quite comfortable in this position. Now, this is something I've played around with as well, trying a wider grip where it allowed me to get a more locked out position, but I was limited with my shoulder mobility in receiving the bar. So typically my elbow would be pointed more down, my sternum might point down, that would pull my head down, losing the bar a bit more forward. I've also tried more narrow, but the problem that I receive with that is that as the bar comes into that top position, my hand would get caught in my shoulder. I could get my elbows up more, but it wasn't always the best place to receive a bar for me. So what you're going to need to do is play around with a few different positions of your hand until you kind of find the best of all worlds, where you feel like you can get a really good grip on the bar, you feel like you can have the arms remain relaxed, and you can receive the bar in a position where your mobility is able to get you in your best possible position and not be limited by your mobility where you will then go into the jerk and maybe have a harder time getting into that position or getting out of the bottom, the hole of the squat. So those are a few things to test out and try, figure out, start on the knurling, basically work your way out. Find a way to standardize your grip so that every time you go back to the bar, you're holding the bar in the same position once you've found that optimal grip for you. Now, the second part of this grip is the hook grip. So this is a pretty crucial gripping style of the bar that isn't really used elsewhere. Occasionally, it'll be used by people in powerlifting, but generally not. What it is basically putting your thumb across the bar so that your fingers can grab your thumb and hold on to your fingers rather than trying to squeeze the bar. As the weight gets heavier on the bar, not using a hook grip will limit what you can do with your lifts. Generally speaking, because we're creating a lot of speed and acceleration with the bar, if for any reason our grip lets go, we're going to see that hand open up and we'll lose the bar. With the hook grip, because we're gripping our own finger, generally speaking, we rarely will lose the grip on the bar and have that grip open up, and that being the limiting factor of our lifts. So if we think about this, the reason the doweling is here so you can see it, is if this is my bar, what I'm trying to do is I'm going to wrap my thumb around the bar before I grab my thumb with the rest of my fingers. So that's your hook grip. So as you come in, thumb goes on the bar, fingers go across the thumb. Now, when you do this early on, it is a quite uncomfortable position to be in because you're kind of pulling on your nail. Your thumb might not be in a very comfortable position, generally speaking. As you develop this more and more, it becomes really crucial. So the other thing that this hook grip allows us to do is keep the arm relaxed. So when we grip the bar for like a deadlift or something like that, we really have to squeeze the bar quite hard, and you can see the forearm really starts to activate. Now, with a deadlift, it's okay because the arm is going to stay long the whole time. So as I stand tall, that's where the movement ends. Nothing else has to happen at my elbow or shoulder. Now with the Olympic lifts, obviously, as we've seen, as we go through the pattern, it doesn't end at the hip. We need to have the arms involved in the next portion of our lift. If we're over gripping the bar just to hold the bar in place, we are going to lose the sort of movement needed at the elbow and the shoulder. So that hook grip allows the arm to be a bit more relaxed. We don't have to worry about over gripping the bar itself. And as we go into that high pull position, our arms can move more fluidly into that front rack receiving position. So something to work on. A good tip on this, if it's very uncomfortable early on, is to get some tape. This is, you want like a spongy tape that is flexible so that your thumb can actually move, not like a physio tape that's quite rigid. That will hopefully help save the nail a little bit more for you too and decrease some of that discomfort. It is something that will go away. Just know that the first bit of time that you start using the hook grip, it's not going to be super comfortable.